Hey guys, it's Dr. Nicole Bonner with Healing Hands of Manahawkin. If I had a penny, if I had a penny every time a patient told me that I was their last resort, I would be a very rich woman. I have a patient who has suffered for decades with multiple health problems. Her body was breaking down, and she's tried everything. She's even went to some of the very best specialists in their field. She's tried acupuncture, yoga, meditation, you name it, and her body was still breaking down. When she came to me, she was visibly ill and she was just exhausted. She explained how she tried everything and that I was her last hope. She was ready to give up on life because the medical doctors told her all her problems were in her head because they couldn't find anything wrong. Have any of you ever experienced that where you knew something was going on with your body and you went to medical doctor after specialist after specialist, and they kept telling you nothing is wrong? I hear that almost daily in my practice. Have you ever been dismissed by your MD because they can't find out what's wrong? And they actually make you feel like you're crazy. Well, this was this patient. So what did we do? Well, the first thing is we listened. We listened. We gave her a safe space to unload everything that was weighing her down. We listened to what was important to her, what she wanted to achieve in her care, with her care in our office, where we really got to know who she is and built a foundation for trust so that we can build a lifelong trusting relationship. That is one of our top values at Healing Hands, is building lifelong relationships with our practice members. We don't even call our practice members patients because our number one value is healthy relationships with the people that we care for in our community. The second thing that we did was we did a complete examination using posture analysis as not only a window to her spine, but also as a window to what was happening in her entire nervous system. So the reason why that's a window to the nervous system, that might sound a little bit surprising for some of you, but that's because the spine houses and is attached to the spinal cord, right? So the way that the body works, just really quick, is that your brain controls every cell in your body and it talks to the body through the spinal cord. It sends electrical impulses through your spinal cord, out your spine, over all of your nerves, like electrical wire in a building. That is how your body runs. So when a person has a postural distortion, for example, any areas where we see postural distortions will let us know where there's weakened, damaged, or injured areas of the spine that is shutting off energy traveling through different parts of the nervous system. Then the third thing that we did is any areas where we saw postural distortions, we took x-rays in those areas. And x-rays are essential for us to know exactly what is causing a person's health condition. Can we fix it? And is it safe for us to go ahead and start fixing it? So safety also is a top value and a top priority in our office. We never take anybody's health for granted. And so we always, as long as it's clinically necessary, take x-rays before we ever start adjusting somebody's spine. So that x-rays are an essential part of being able to diagnose, to properly diagnose if a person has these conditions called subluxations. It absolutely ensures the safety of the patient, for the patient. Now, when we analyzed our practice members' x-rays, what we found was that she had subluxation or misalignment of the spinal bone at the top of her neck. Now, you could see why that could be significant for her, because the brain is here. Well, what's below the top of the neck? You got it. Starts with an E, and it sounds like everything. So if we have a misalignment at the top of the neck that's pressing on a nerve or pressing on that part of the spinal cord, it's going to dim energy or dim life from the brain to everything. So we can see why a subluxation up at the top here would affect her in so many different ways, right? So what did we start to do? Well, number one is we analyzed the x-rays and made sure it was safe. It was safe to start correcting. And in this case, it absolutely was. She was a chiropractic candidate. We don't accept every patient in our office as a patient because we will only accept patients if we know for certain, if we can prove that we can actually correct a person's spinal condition. When we started to correct her spine, her body began to heal and her whole life was transformed. In fact, months later, this patient explained to me how before coming to our office, she was planning on how she was going to actually end her life. She was trying to figure out what way would be the least painful and the least traumatic for her family. Through tears, she asked how all of those other professionals that she had been to, even some of them were the best in the country, she had asked, how come they didn't find her problem? How come this little old chiropractor in this little old town, how come I was able to help her and nobody else, all these professionals weren't? The reason is because she was a victim of a belief system. She was a victim of a belief system that has been wired into our subconscious from a very early age that medical professionals know it all. And they don't. They are human, just like you, just like me. And some of my best friends, if you don't know a little bit about me, I graduated from Seton Hall University way back when with a pre-med degree. And so most of my best friends are medical professionals. They're medical doctors. I have best friends that are heads of hospitals. And so, so I love my MDs, but the fact is that they really are just humans, just like you and I, and they don't know everything. And so an MD's job is to label a disease process and simply match that label, match that disease process up with the drug that is designated by the pharmaceutical company, by the pharmaceutical industry that goes with that label. So just about anybody on the planet can memorize which label, which disease process matches up with which drug. And guess what? If you can't, that's why we have pharmaceutical reps. The pharmaceutical reps have business degrees, and they actually will tell the medical doctor which drugs to prescribe for which disease process. And that is the truth about how our medical system works here in the US. So, well, if you are tired of doing the same old thing and not getting anywhere with your health, then maybe it's time that we try something different. And that's chiropractic. Chiropractic is totally different. It is totally unique from medicine. It is completely different from physical therapy. Sometimes people think that we're kind of the same thing or we're similar. We're not even in the same boat as physical therapists. We are completely distinct from PT, yoga, meditation. Now, all of that stuff is good. All that stuff is good, but it's not chiropractic. And so let's stop doing the same old thing and getting the same old silly results, and let's try something different. So if you guys have any questions, please leave us some comments. We're more than happy to answer them for you. Reach out to us. We have an amazing website at www.drnicolebonner.com, and you can communicate with us through that. And you can you can even text our phone. So many blessings to you. Hopefully this helped. and resonated with some of you, and we will see you soon.